What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out my channel, watching my video. Today I am making a pie crust. It is a pretty easy version of a pie crust. You make it in a food processor, so you don't have to use a traditional pastry cutter or a fork or anything like that. Throw it all in the pie crust, zap it a few times, and then you're ready for it to be baked or used however you want to. Easy, easy. Enjoy. In a food processor, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. To that, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. Now I've gone ahead and pre-cut the butter into smaller chunks. Dump that in. You're going to add 1/4 cup of Crisco, and I keep mine in the refrigerator because it needs to be cold. I don't pre-slice this, I just drop it in. And also about 3/4 teaspoon of salt. That's all the ingredients in the pie crust, except for cold water, which we're going to add. So have your cold water on standby. Put the lid on the food processor. Now you want to pulse it until it breaks up the shortening and the butter. So it's broken up into smaller pieces, but there's some big chunks in there still. You have a few more pulses. There you go. Now to that, we're going to add about 3 to 5, maybe even more tablespoons of water. Let's start out with 3. 1. Oh, got a piece of ice. 2. 3. Now it needs to be cold water, so I'll put ice in it. Pulse it again. Once this draws together into a ball, that's not enough. Add some more. 4. 5. A few more. 5. 6. 7. That should be enough. Okay, take it out, glance at it. Once it presses into a workable dough, it still needs a little more water. Add 2 more. Now you can see it's starting to pull together. That's what we're wanting. Just like that. So now, take out your blade. Now I've already spread out a piece of plastic wrap. Take your pie dough, take it out of there. Now you just want to kind of loosely push it together. And fold this up, fold this up, fold this up. And now I'll push it until it's compressed. And you're going to see the flakes of butter and shortening. You're going to see the flakes of butter and shortening inside the pie dough. But we're going to let that rest. So press it together into a disc about like that and throw it in the refrigerator. It needs to rest for about an hour before you use it. I leave mine in there as long for a while, so I'm not going to use mine until tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. I've got a clean board and I'm going to put some bench flour or just plain all-purpose flour and spread it out. I've got my rolling pin. This rolling pin is like 150 years old. It's from my great-grandfather's side of the family. You're going to take your dough disc and I coat it with flour and just slowly start rolling it out. Now throughout the rolling process, I flip it over a few times to make sure the flour is evenly distributed on the sides. Otherwise, it's going to stick to the counter. And just keep turning it a fourth of a turn every roll or two to spread it out evenly. Now, there's a spot right there that's got a hole in it. Try to push it together. If you can't, you can always patch it. See? Still has a hole. Going to steal some from the edge and patch. And some people use rulers to measure, make sure you have enough. I just set my pie plate on top of the dough to see. Now you're going to coax the end up with a pastry knife or with a spatula just to make sure it's loose and it's not stuck to the board. Roll it up. Important step is to dust off the flour on the underside, the side that's going to go next to the pie plate. Bring your pie plate underneath the dough, not the dough over the pie plate, and roll it out. Work it in gently. If you need to patch, you can patch. Make sure the sides are pressed all the way to the edge of the dish. Now I do like a thick pie crust. Now you can use a pizza cutter to cut the excess dough off, a knife. I actually like scissors. And I cut it with about 1 inch of an overhang. Now what you're going to do is lift it up and tuck it under. That's going to give you a thicker rim around the top of the pie where you can do your fluting or your decoration. Once I have the pie crust in the pan and folded the edges under, you're going to start forming it. This is where you're going to make minor repairs and press it firmly into the bottom of the pie plate. If you have holes or something, you're going to patch it with the leftover that you cut off the edges. Now with 2 fingers and pressing with the 3rd finger on the other side, you're going to make the traditional zigzag topping. You can go around the outside edge with a fork, just press that into it if you want to, or any kind of decoration that you want. Now if your recipe calls for a pie to have a top to it or a lattice top, just double the batch and make extra pie crust. I'd rather have too much pie crust than not enough. In which point you're going to roll it out flat, fill the pie, put your top on it, and repeat the pinching and pleating part on the top. That's the recipe. Easy pie crust done in a food processor. You can store this in the refrigerator for a few days and use it whenever you need it. Enjoy. Make sure you like my video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you comment. If you have any ideas, want to say something, please yell at me. Let me know. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.